Well, good evening, Facebook world. It is Monday, and you know what that means. It's Marriage Matters Monday. And I know that I've got to give you time to actually be notified of Marriage Matters Monday. So I'm just going to hang out here for a couple of moments to give people an opportunity to know that I am online so that you can hear a little bit about teamwork tonight. Hi, Chris Owen. Hope you are doing well. It's always good to see you. Hope you and your family are doing well. Hello, Melody. Taking good care of my husband. I'm absolutely sure of it. I'm sure he was very thankful to have like a good home cooked meal, Melody. So thank you. Whatever it is that you cooked, I'm sure it was amazing. Of course, after you cleaned up all the olive oil on the floor by seeing that. Oh, Chris, I'm so glad that you are, you're doing well. Doing well. Hey, Jane. Jane Jurek is one of the reasons why Fred was in Florida, or is in Florida still. Good friend of ours through Premier Designs, and Fred captured her son's senior photos today and a few family photos. And oh, I see Fred's on. Hi, honey. Kisses, kisses. I miss you. Okay, so I have enough of you on here, and I've got to use my time wisely. As you can see, I'm sitting in my vehicle. I am outside this establishment that's here in Plano, Florida, called Amazing Jake's. It is like the all-in-wonder, pizza buffet, video games, ticket games, laser tag, mini putt golf, race cars, you name it. There's all kinds of things available in there. And thank you, honey. And so I came today, as you can see, I'm wearing my Fred Shot gear because tonight was season ticket pickup pickup for the Texas Revolution. And Fred is the official photographer for the Texas Revolution. And of course, he has been busy photographing football players and dancers. And so he really, really enjoys serving in that capacity. Hey, Joanna and Jerry and Bryce, so glad you guys could join. So what I wanted to talk with you about tonight is the fact that in your marriage, you are a team. And teamwork is so incredibly important as you approach almost anything in your marriage, and it can really make such a huge difference in just the overall success of your spouse. So how are Fred and I being a team tonight? I mean, practically speaking, Fred's in Florida. I'm here representing his business and our interest in the Texas Revolution football team. I brought the boys. They're in there getting to play some video games, and and I was interacting with the players and the dancers and the coaches and people that I've made friends with. Why? Because over all of these years that Fred has been serving in this capacity, I have been there supporting him as the official team photographer and supporting the team as well. Yes, Fred, teamwork also does pay the bills. That is true. So teamwork is definitely important when you're self-employed. I must say that does add a whole nother dynamic, Fred. So I'm so glad that you did say that. So we're a team. And I enjoy being able to support Fred, and I enjoy being able to support the team. Of course, it helps that I like football. But you know what? Even if I didn't like football, I would want to be where Fred is, supporting him and doing what he loves to do. And that's what marriage is all about, is that we choose to support each other in the pursuits that are within our passion, within our gifting, the things that God has called us to do. And what can be challenging is that oftentimes especially if we don't like what our spouse does, or we feel that draw on our time. And oftentimes we do it begrudgingly. And so my encouragement tonight is that when you see yourself as a team and you understand the value of teamwork, and you go with the right attitude, with the right motivation, that I'm willing to serve my spouse expecting nothing in return. And what that looks like from a practical standpoint is I'm willing to show up even if it's something that I don't like. Or I'm willing to show up so that my spouse knows that I am supportive of what he, in this case, Fred, really enjoys doing, which is photographing. And thank you, Gail Williams. I appreciate you so much. And I'm so glad that you were able to pop on. And so I think that's really important, that we choose to serve our spouse by showing up and supporting them. When you're dating, you will go to your spouse's games or to your spouse's events. Then your boyfriend or girlfriend, you show up. Why? Because spending time is how you show you love someone. But then what happens is we get married and we think, now we're married and I don't really have to go to your game, or I don't really have to show up to your events, because we're already together. But all the more as a married couple should you continue to support each other in the endeavors that each of you have. I can't tell you the number of times that I'm out at Premier's retreat facility in Argyle because I'm speaking to a group, and you know what? Fred's there. He's recording it. He's making sure it's something that can be used to encourage other people long after that event has passed. He's my biggest cheerleader. He is praying for me. He is supporting me, encouraging me along the way. And it's my heart to do the same for him in the things that are important to him. And that's what teamwork is all about, is that we lock arms and we say, hey, we're going to do this together. So as soon as Fred told me that tonight was season ticket pickup, I was like, I'm there. I'll represent us. I'll don my Fred Schatz gear, and I will make sure that as a team, we are represented. And so I love that. And I just wanted to encourage you tonight to really view your marriage as a team. And, Fred said it, and sometimes people think it's cliche, but teamwork does make the dream work. Do you want a dream marriage? Then I highly encourage you, really take on the mentality of we're a team. And find ways that you're able to serve, whether it's alongside of your spouse or just by being physically present to support your spouse. And it makes such a big difference. We're surrounded by some amazing people who work really well together as a team. If you're on here watching and you have experienced that, excuse me, catching up from the sickness that I had last week. I still have a little bit of a cough. Would love to see your comments about how you have enjoyed working as a team with your spouse. By the way, hello Elaine and Beverly and Erica. Erica all the way up there in the Northeast. And Beverly too, actually. You're in the Washington, D.C. area. So I'm so glad you ladies could hop on and join us. So that, hi Susan, right here in Anna, Texas. Good to see you this evening as well. So that was my encouragement for you tonight. Be a team. Be a team. And one thing, I just want to speak directly to the ladies who are either on right now who will watch the replay of this. Part of being a team is being a suitable helper. Oh, I got to pause because Fred just typed, teamwork allows me to dream about taking our marriage and our business to the next level. Yes. I love that because it's true that that's how you take it to the next level, is you work together. And that Michelle Ortiz agreeing that teamwork makes our dream work. And I love that you said that, Michelle. It's our dream. You see, Fred and I have dreams that we want to accomplish, and we want to accomplish them together. When you see it as our dream, then I think it makes just being engaged and really supporting your spouse so much easier, whatever that is, whether it's something that's of true interest to you or not. So I think that's important. So let me just go back to the ladies here real quickly about being a suitable helper. If you are a believer in Jesus, then, we need to embrace that God has called us to be a suitable helper to our spouse. God said, that it was not good for a man to be alone, that I will make him a suitable helper, or a helpmeet in some versions. And that is our role. And to the extent that we're willing to embrace that, trying to call me. He's probably wondering where I am. I'm outside, and they don't know that I'm outside videoing, so I'm sure he's going to call me back. But anyway, to the extent that you are willing to be a suitable helper to your spouse can make such a huge difference in the success that he sees. So ladies, I want to encourage you, choose to be a suitable helper, someone that encourages, that really can help your husband to be successful. You are that person. You have the ability to multitask in ways that God did not create him to multitask, to think about things in ways that that's not how his mind works. And so we can be just a huge value to the success of our husband. Joy is hanging sheetrock. Girl, sheetrock. That's like when Fred and I tiled the downstairs of our house in Florida, 1,000 square feet of tile. I'm telling you, we ripped up the carpet, the linoleum, we laid down the thin set and the tile. I'll tell you, if you can do construction projects as a husband and wife, that says a lot. That says a lot. So good for you, Joy. Tell your husband that I said hello. So, be a suitable helper. Choose to engage in what your spouse enjoys doing. And for the guys listening, I want to encourage you, you do the same for your wife. Encourage her to engage in things that are important to her, that fill her up. That really make a difference in her life, that where she is passionate. And if you don't know what that is, then now is the time to ask, so that you can be aware of that, and you're able to support one another. And really, the other admonition that I would give you is that you pray for one another. I pray for Fred's business very specifically on Tuesdays. That'll be tomorrow. But I pray for God to expand Fred's business every week, to really give him the ability to serve, and to serve well, to serve with passion, and for people to really feel like a difference has been made in their life by what Fred does. So when you choose to really pray for what your spouse is doing, you're part of the team. Because see, then what happens when you pray, guess what? You're inviting God into your teamwork. It's not just you and your spouse. It's you, your spouse, and God. And you're allowing God to be the center of that team effort. And so I highly encourage you, bring that aspect in as well. Allow God to direct your team effort, and encourage your spouse by praying for them, and by praying for their job, by praying for them as a fellow, a co-parent, especially if you have children. Man, we need God to help us in our everyday parenting. So I encourage you to do that as well. So let me recap. It's all about teamwork. And that means that you show up. It means you're supportive. It means that you are willing to encourage and to be a part of promoting what your spouse enjoys doing. That you pray. and you ask God to be the director of your team effort. You ask him to empower you to be the spouse that God intends you to be. For the wife, that means being a suitable helper. For the husband, that means really supporting your wife and bringing her before the Lord. And really being that rock that she needs emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and yes, sometimes physically. So I just want to encourage you that teamwork in your marriage will make your dreams work. But it will allow you to experience much more of what I believe God intends for your marriage. And isn't that what we want? We want a marriage that honors God, that honors our spouse, that leaves a legacy for our children. And by the way, being a great team is a great example for your kids. For them to see you working together and supporting one another and hearing them, where your kids are able to hear you affirm your spouse in front of them and just how great they are at what they do, man, that, I'm telling you, compliments or encouragement does not cost you any money, but it can pay huge dividends in the life of your spouse and also the lives of your kids. So I just want to encourage you with that. Joy, I know you do. Joy saying that she thanks God for her husband being there for her girls, even when he is their stepdad. Man, blended family, so important. With how step parents are able to really be a part of our children's lives. So, hey, I got the benefit of 2 step parents. When my dad remarried my stepmom, she was so instrumental in my growing up. And then my mother married my stepfather. And, I love both of my step parents. They have been a blessing in my life. So I agree, Joy, that just equally, you're co-parenting regardless. All right, Fred says, does being a great team mean that we don't ever have a disagreement? Oh, no, we have disagreements. We have some disagreements because why? We think differently. But disagreements are healthy because you know what? I need Fred's perspective. And I know that Fred needs my perspective, even though sometimes I don't want Fred's perspective. And I'm sure there are times where he doesn't want my perspective. But we know that we need it. Yes, Fred, we have arguments. That's why you even made that comment so that I would address it. Thank you very much. We're a great team, Fred. It's obviously harder for us to do this separately because when we're together, we're able to feed off of what the other person says and give that different perspective. So I appreciate you offering that from the keyboard of your phone, or maybe you're on your laptop. I don't know. You could be editing pictures right now. So, well, let me just say that about Fred editing pictures. Sometimes our spouse, in order to do the job that God has called them to do, has to work late hours, or maybe they're called in, maybe it interrupts family time. You know what? I want to encourage you, be an encouragement. Rather than nagging or complaining about you're never home or you're always late, or try to be encouraging, loving, understanding. Ask God to give you the understanding that you need, because that's part of being a team. It's part of being a team and realizing that we don't always have ideal circumstances, but God's not surprised by our less than ideal circumstances, and He is able to see us through. And Fred, I do not like separation either. I miss you. I can't wait for you to come back home. All right, folks, I have really felt like I have shared what was on my heart to share for this Marriage Matters Monday. So I got to get my boys home. Excuse me, Fred, our boys home, so that they have good rest for school tomorrow. And so I want to make sure that I sign off in time to do that. So, you know what? I hope this has been an encouragement to you. I can't wait to see your comments for how God has given you opportunity to be a team with your spouse. Look for ways this week that you can encourage your spouse in their passion and what they love, in their job. And we will look forward to seeing you back here together next week for Marriage Matters Monday. Can't wait to do it with Fred. You guys have a great week.